that this isn't just about gangs or drugs. This is actually starting to catch people in its crossfire.
It is. It's not people going to seek violence. It is violence finding them. I think the 13-year-old was out with his family wandering along and got hit by shotgun pellets. So it is concerning. And I thought, actually, Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester there, was very good, because he's right. There is an issue of police cuts. There is a question of those easy cuts to youth services. I think austerity's gone far too far. And then there is that question of somehow trying to give people hope. And there's all sorts of things you can do there in terms of mentoring them, getting involved in the community, and you've got to stop them. So those with the guns, those with the knives, actually getting sucked into that world.
There is a sense, isn't there, that Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, has just dropped the ball on this. You know, he does a lot of tweeting.
Yeah.
Yesterday, tweeting away about keeping the city safe and so on. Londoners don't feel safe at the moment.
And he talked about a zero tolerance for knife crime. Well, that's not happened, does it? Because over 60 people have died in London already this year.
Well, massive spike in knife crime. Yeah. An increasing number of gun-related incidents. This is all happening on his watch. We asked Sadiq Khan to come on every day and defend himself. He's not going to get an easy time.
No.
And yet he won't face tough questions.
He should do what Andy Burnham did.
Well,
just answer the questions. Andy Burnham did very well. Some
of the answers from Sadiq Khan as Mayor of London, I agree, should come on. You've got to be accountable. You've got to be publicly seen. Tweets and social media are fine, but you've got to be up front. People have to see and hear you.
I think that's the key thing right now, is that it's one thing, you know, perhaps the answers are difficult, the questions are tricky.
Yeah.
People need reassurance.
They do.
There are, you know, parents in London need reassurance that it's going to be safe for their kids when they go up to the common and the park.
Sadiq Khan has a legitimate complaint about the government cuts as Mayor of London and the number of police officers who've gone in London. He's got to come and make that case publicly. Yeah. Otherwise, he is going to get the blame. I think it would be unfair.
Well, you know what I always think? When they don't come on, these politicians, it's a bit like when Amber Rudd wouldn't do this programme in the middle of the Windrush scandal. You know they've got something to hide.
Exactly.
There's something they don't want to have to be confronted by. And my message to Sadiq Khan, if you're watching, is stop ducking, stop running, stop hiding. Come and face tough questions. This is your job as the Mayor of London. And it's becoming... Our viewers who live in London, they want answers.
And I think it's the most important issue now for the Mayor of London. More than anything else, the tubes are all overcrowded and congested. We know that. It's knife crime and gun crime. It's turning into... the Wild West.
Anyone who's got a teenager going out on the streets of London, in any part of London at the moment, is concerned about one thing now. Right? It's about this knife crime epidemic.
Including the London Mayor, who has 2 teenage daughters. But I think he hasn't got anything to hide. No. That's why, if I was him, I would front up and make my case.
Go on the attack, and as Andy Burnham said, get more policemen back on the street.
And more money in youth services.
But he has a reasonable, common-sense argument to make.
You know, it's interesting.
Because he has not imposed the cuts. The cuts have been imposed on the London by your government.
Andrew, a few years ago, I did a documentary about hoodies. It was about gang kids. And I went to Salford. I went to various parts of the country. But I went to Salford. It was really interesting. They had got a youth centre really up and running and active. And they'd seen a massive reduction in the number of kids drifting into gangs. And it's lived with me a lot since then. It just seemed to me such an easy thing. If you give these kids something else to do, and you're enthusiastic and you push them and you're driven, a lot of them will not drift into gangs. But if you give them, as one of them said to me, if you give us nothing to do, we sit on the street corner after school and we get in with other people, and then you get bored, and then you start doing stuff, and then you're in a gang, and then that's it.
They think it's cool.
Yeah, what's that old phrase? The devil makes work for idle hands. In Scotland, they've had an incredibly successful knife reduction process. That involves local authorities, the health service, schools. Absolutely massive. Not just seeing it as law and order. And interestingly, Sadiq Khan, if he was on, I would think he would say he's working with the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Cressida Dick. They've been looking at Scotland. They set up a working party.
Well, we can't get Cressida Dick either. It's like, one of you, come on, and tell us what you're doing.
And when does anybody ever see a police officer on the beat, a Bobby on the beat? When do you see them? Because the police, we don't have enough police officers. The Tories have cut too many, but the ones they've got are too often not visible. You want to see them.